Hey everyone, welcome to the final episode of 2023 of the weekly roundup. I am Nat Daddy. It's Friday, December 29th. We're right in that middle limbo between Christmas and New Year's. Hope your Christmas was good, or whatever holiday you do celebrate. Maybe you don't celebrate anything. And then we got New Year's coming up this weekend. A little bit of a shorter show today. End of the year, so with the holiday now, we got some shipping issues, so not all the books got in on time. And there's just not a lot of books to read this time of year, too. So I got a few books here to read for you guys to let you know what I thought about them. And I got through a couple other extra things in there, too, like maybe some binge-worthy holiday stuff to be watching as well, too, because I'm sure you guys are sitting at home with a little bit of extra time on your hands. So here we go. First off, let's thank our sponsors of the show. We got 204 Comics. They've been having an amazing in-store and online blowout sale for Boxing Day and that, so check that out. For all our American viewers down there, Boxing Day and Boxing Week is our equivalent of Black Friday deals. So um, that's what that is there. And again, we got Blaze Comics working with us now too. So Blaze Comics will be sending us their books earlier to preview and read, and we always do cover them as well too. So no Blaze books this time, unfortunately. But like I was saying a little bit earlier in that, um, those guys are great sponsors. Of course, we got our own, stuff to, kind of pop out here too. We got the Josie and the Pussycats 60th anniversary spectacular there. We got that exclusive along with our other exclusives there as well too. So check out the website for those, or if you're interested in your, just wanting to know a little bit more about it, reach out in the comments below. We'd love to inform you and hopefully get to some of those for you. Also, let's jump right into again with the holiday and that stuff. Let's jump into the FOCs. There is no FOCs again this week, so again, no books that you have to worry about ordering during this time of year. They're like on their Christmas break, so I believe by next week there should be new FOC dates to let you guys know and order and get those books that you want. All right, before we jump into the books, because I said there is just a few handful of books here to go through, I thought maybe there'd be some cool binge-worthy TV that you guys might want to check out. I don't watch everything anymore because I just don't have time. But some things I have been watching in the last few days is the new season of What If is out. So I think there's 3 episodes out or 2 episodes. I can't remember now. But those were quite enjoyable. The third one there even has a holiday feel to it. So do check those out if you've been a fan of that What If series. Sometimes I'm a little hesitant on the animation style and that there, but it's been okay so far. Something else I've been really liking, and I can't help but tell people about this all the time. Even if you're not a Godzilla or a monster movie type of fan, this Monarch series on Apple has been amazing. You have Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell playing the same role in 2 different time periods. That's pretty cool. And then again, he gets it's Godzilla and all the monsters in that. So I don't. It doesn't really seem to tie into anything too much. It's definitely not anything that I've seen Godzilla wise. I don't know if it doesn't really tie into the movies. Definitely doesn't have anything to do with that Godzilla -1 thing going on right now. But this has been great so far. Do check it out if you get a chance. I know it's a little harder to get because it's on Apple TV. I know not a lot of people have that, or not as many people have access to that as other things. But if you do get a chance, check it out. It's great. Plus, I've been watching as many Christmas and holiday specials as possible too. All the older classic stuff, of course. But, all right, let's go into the books that I managed to read for you guys this week. First off, issue 3 from Image Skybound. We got the Universal Monsters James Tynion adaptation of Dracula here, issue 3. It's not just a straightforward telling or retelling of the Universal Monster Dracula stuff. It does have some kind of a little bit of interpretation or reading in between the lines done by James Tynion. And the art by Martin Simmons on here is just amazing. Like I said in the previous couple of issues here, the texture and the actual use of material that he uses in the art is amazing. And and spooky. Fits well with that kind of dark and shadowy, Dracula feel to it. Heavenly recommend that one. Something else that's kind of spooky is I think it's from Oni. You got Oni Press. So you got Dwellings. This is number 3. These are a little bit more expensive. These are $10 books, but they're double, triple size, most likely doubled size, I think, and they're square bound, so that's kind of cool. They're meant to feel and look and have that aesthetic of like old Harvey comics. So if you're kind of getting that vibe from it, it works out that way. But these aren't that type of comic. These are more like Tarantino stories or more like Stephen King stories and that. So super, super graphic. Even though it looks like it's meant for kids and families, it is definitely not. This is super adult. Lots of swearing and violence and sex and that. So, but again, done with these kind of like these Harvey style drawings by Jay Stevens. So, kind of an anthology of stories. There's 2 in this book, all going in this area called Dwellings. A little bit of an underlying story in the background in that, kind of like this kind of cursed, haunted town almost kind of feel. But really neat. I enjoy these a lot. You got one here about the ghost of a clown. That's kind of cool. And this other one about a guy that's afraid of nature. So it's hard to get these books too because a lot of people don't know about them, and they have been selling out. So if you can find them, great, and if not, try and find them. From Image, we have issue 2 of Holy Roller. We reviewed the first issue of this, and I really liked it. Second issue is just as good. You have this character who is basically Andy Samberg, and he helps write this book with Rick Remender. So you have this kind of gritty, I wouldn't say crime book, but almost like a vigilante. You have this guy returning to his small town they left all those years ago after he hears his dad sick, and he left kind of with no sour thoughts of this town to begin with. He's ashamed of his dad, who was a bowler, and the family's Jewish, and nowadays, even back then, but nowadays even more, there's this huge anti-Semitism going on. So he returns and ends up turning into like almost like this town vigilante, going around taking care of this skinhead gang and all these other issues that kind of cropped up in his town and turned it into a shithole while he was been gone. So neat book. Definitely, you can definitely tell it's Andy Samberg. It even looks like him and is drawn like him. Pretty funny, pretty graphic, but super enjoyable so far. And I'm sure this will eventually be turned into some kind of movie or streaming service. From Marvel, we have Deadly Hands of Kung Fu issue 1. This is part of the Gang War series. This is one of those tie-ins. It's okay. It's kind of necessary, but not super necessary to read it if you're doing the Gang War stuff. Shang-Chi's a little bit different, and then in the last little while, things have changed for him. He now runs the kind of the assassin clan that his father had run all those years, and he has those 10 rings as well too. All those years, the clan was kind of seen as as evil and used for nefarious reasons, and he's trying to turn it around. He's doing this all within Chinatown, so he's trying to deal with this organization, doing things differently. So he's dealing with inner turmoil there. He's dealing with outer public turmoils because people again see this organization as a crime organization, and he's trying to change it as that. And you got the whole gang war of New York thing going on too, and he's again being tempted to take part into that and not take part of that, and not even take part of it even in a helping way. So you got that Spider-Man asking him to help out, or asking him where his situation is there. So you got a lot of things being pulled in different directions here, but it's okay. If you're a huge Shang-Chi fan or Deadly Hands Kung Fu fan, you'll definitely like this. If you're reading it only because you want to know the tie-ins and how it works with the gang war stuff, you will know what's going on and be semi-enjoyed of it, but it's not super essential. But it was okay. Got issue 4 of Silent Night, DC's Batman and Santa Claus teamed up. But it's actually more of a DC universe. It has all the heroes in it, especially a lot of JLA characters. Um, you get Santa and all these DC superheroes going against Krampus, and I liked it. It's fun. It's been a lot better than it ever should have been. No one ever expected this book to be that good, but it's pretty fun in here. So you got Superman and Wonder Woman, and I said the rest of these DC characters all working with Santa Claus, who is like one of the world's greatest heroes and fighters, and helped train Batman, deal with Krampus and the evil doings that he's doing around this Christmas time. So issue 2 of Marvel's new series Spider-Woman. Again, this one too climbs into the gang war stuff there. I enjoyed this series so far. I am a kind of a Spider-Woman fan, but this one's kind of a neat series because she was killed and has been brought back through the spider web of life there. But when she was brought back, her infant son wasn't brought back to life as well too, because she was kind of erased from everything. So nobody else but her remembers this, and she's trying to find out what's going on and track him down and convince people that she did have a son and she's not all being crazy. And you have the whole again gang war thing going on here as well too. So um, she has a pretty big part in there with this gang war stuff. Uh, I've enjoyed it so far. I've enjoyed this more than the She-Hulk reboot that's out. They have issue 3 out of this week. Um, again, I just don't. I'm a She-Hulk fan, and I just don't. There's nothing really special going on in that series. But this one here does have hopefully a little bit of staying power. The Spider-Woman series never seemed to stick around too long, but again, it ties. This one ties in pretty well to the gang war stuff. Also from Marvel, we have their one shot that comes out once a year. It's called Timeless. It kind of gives us a glimpse into what they're gonna have coming out in the future. And that, although this year I didn't really notice that too much. I mean, they did have some pictures and like shattered fragments of things of possible futures and that, but I couldn't really tell too much what any of the stuff was detail wise. But this one, it's okay. I've liked the other previous two a little bit better. This one here, we have a story where it's the end of the world in the very far future, and you have this character Power Man there, and going against this kind of ultimate god like Moon Knight, who's about to take over the world for Khonshu and that. So you end up finding out that the Power Man here is Luke Cage, kind of like old man Luke Cage, and he has gathered over the years a lot of different heroes' powers, and then he's going to be trying to free the world against this this kind of worldly demonic takeover of the Khonshu cult here, which is run by this ultimate mega omega Moon Knight, who ends up being Danny Rand of all things. So, lastly, from our books this week, and again, we'll definitely when they do the show for the new year, I'm sure they'll have a few books that we missed the last couple of weeks because of shipping issues and that. But we have issue 1 of the Wake. This is again part of those 13 Origins kind of launch off from Scout Comics. Again, all of these are the Latino American heroes. All young adults are turning 18 or just about turning 18, and they have these kind of powers manifest, and now they're learning to work with them, and eventually they're all going to be working together as like this team, I believe. So this girl here is a speedster. She ends up saving one of her siblings in an accident, discovering these powers, and then learn to be a hero and do it all in secrecy. So a lot of it is kind of familiar wise. We were kind of joking and complaining a little bit last week about the one, the guy that looked like the Thing, the Rock guy. So this one here is very similar to the Flash. So, but again, it has all that Latino background to it. So I hope gets a little bit better. They are pretty simple so far. Even the artwork in this one here is a little bit more I won't say rough, but a little bit more simple compared to the other issue. So we'll see where it goes. All right, everybody. Like I said, that is what I covered for this week. A little bit of a shorter week, just because it's end of the year, and between the holiday weeks, it's hard to get things shipped out proper and that. But either way, that's what I read. So I hope you did like it. Yeah, because of the shorter week and that, I'm gonna try and get a little bit more work done. And in the studio here today, got a few books that I want to get done for reviews Omni-wise, so check those out in the next few days. I'm just finishing up the Adventures into Fear one. That's been a good one. Got this recently, the brand new Spy versus Spy Omnibus. This collects every Spy versus Spy strip made in the Mad magazines, and we'll be reviewing the Hip Hop Family on Tree Omnibus #1. Really enjoyed that. And again, the volume 2, the follow-up to the Sunday edition of Ice Cream Man that we read a few weeks ago, but maybe a month or so as well. So stick around the channel for the next few days. We'll get a few of those maybe out. Otherwise, we will see you all next week, next year, I guess. Have a good one. Take care.